Yo, what's going on? Took a pretty solid trade today, one and done at 10 a.m. This trade had multiple confirmations and it was a pretty nice setup. We were making a lower high in supply over here last night and trending down from it. We created a 30-minute supply and we were just trending down lower highs all night long, and we popped from this 30-minute demand early in the morning into a 30-minute supply formed overnight, where I saw enough confirmations to go short. There was three different confirmations, and I'll be going over the trade live. Let's get it. All right, so we're trending up from this 30-minute demand zone. We're bouncing from it, and we're currently in a 30-minute supply zone that I didn't mark, and Thinkorswim had VWAP right here. So I had multiple confirmations. I went short right there because I saw something on the order flow. I saw buyers getting trapped at the high, and that made me enter. And I put my stop loss for $150 above those trap buyers. All right, so sellers were defending themselves there. I was just starting to get in profit, and then we chopped back into my entry. Again, into profit, chopping back into my entry. Again, in profit, chopped back into my entry. All right, here we go. Finally in profit, back into my entry. We were just chopping all over the place. It was pretty frustrating. And at this point, this trade didn't look too well, but I entered it, got to follow my plan. I'm not going to exit just because it looks bad at the moment. Bam! Out of nowhere, we flashed down. And I was pretty happy here. I mean, clearly, I read the order flow correctly, and buyers were trapped at the high. A large seller stepped in, and the move was finally looking good. So here I am just looking for the break of the candle so I can go break even on the trade. Wherever I am, 2 to 1 on the trade is where I go break even. So I didn't get it on that candle, but I got it on this one. We were up $300, so I went break even, and it is now a risk-free trade. But we are coming into that 30-minute demand where we had an aggressive buyer and trap sellers, causing that really sharp move up in the in early market. So I was kind of wary of this trade, and I thought it could totally reverse here. So I was seeing some bullish action here for a higher low in demand, but thankfully sellers kept stepping in and rejecting buyers trying to bring price higher. Here we go, touching that 30-minute demand, but really just slicing right through it. Sellers are very strong and showing no resistance. So as we're coming to the low of day, right there, I'm realizing we're in demand, breaking the low of day. That's a place we can really trap sellers. So I put a limit buy to exit 60% of my position, aka 4 micros, right below that low of day, just in case we fake out, and I can take some profit there. Bam, took off 4 contracts there for probably 4 to 1 R, probably like 3.5 R. Like always, I'm going to show you guys the order flow after this trade to show you what really confirmation, what was my biggest confirmation for entering this short and entering my trades overall. Order flow is my number one confirmation every single time. But on the order flow, there was huge selling right here, huge selling. And if we didn't get follow through, that would be a bad sign for bears. All right, so we barely broke that candle, and sellers just weren't getting the follow through that I wanted to see for their continuation. Here we actually saw a big bounce, and sellers, there's a lot of sellers trapped at the low here. So this is a really bad sign for bears. I'm glad I took some contracts off where I did, but this trade was no longer looking good. We're in 30-minute demand still, reclaiming the low of day, and sellers are trapped at the lows. A beautiful trade to take along if you're looking for that. So we started to come back down here. I was looking for a low of day break and continuation lower, but sellers were trapped there, like I said, and in the 30-minute demand. So once I saw buying come into the market, you'll see here The trade no longer looked good. We were making a higher low inside demand with trap sellers, so super bullish. And I kept my stop loss for the remaining two positions at around a 2 to 1. All right, so yeah, the trap sellers fueled that move higher, and I took my full position off right there for a 3.25 R. So I locked myself out, and it was a great trade. Here is the order flow confirmation that made me enter this trade. VWAP is in a different place here, just because different platforms calculate it differently. But on Thinkorswim, VWAP was right here. We had a 30-minute supply right here as well, and we popped up into it, showed a reaction that sellers were present, waited for another confirmation, so we popped up again, and we saw a large bid enter, and we immediately popped right down after they entered, and that is where I shorted with my first target below low of day right here in 30-minute demand. And then we saw a bunch of trapped sellers here, some large selling here, and we popped up, and that was the reason my runners didn't run, and that's what caused this reversal right here. So it's only 10:18, and we are already trading again in that 30-minute supply, showing a bit of resistance. But I clearly managed that trade well, and I'm proud of how I managed it. I took profits when I could have and didn't let the trade go against me, even though I already won on the trade. There's a few reasons I didn't let my contracts run a little further. First of all, is FOMC tomorrow, so I'm expecting games and kind of tricking both directions. And secondly, we were in 30-minute demand. This is a fresh zone and a very powerful zone. I can show you over here. So yeah, this 30-minute demand caused a really aggressive move up. So I'm not surprised we're getting a reaction from it again. Anyways, I hope you guys traded well today, and be careful trading FOMC tomorrow. I think I'm gonna sit it out, but we'll see. I never actually do. But thanks for staying to the end of the video, and stay tuned for some more live trades. Peace.